So a few days ago, I made a video talking about the Indiana Fever and the WNBA being at a crossroads. With Caitlin Clark, both the Indiana Fever and the WNBA as a whole have a chance to really do a lot of good things and really make a big mark, um, on their financial spreadsheets as well as in the minds of sports fans everywhere. With Caitlin Clark, and the question is, will they do it or not? Right now, when it comes to the WNBA, the answer appears to be no. They just continue to fumble away this just golden opportunity. But today, the Indiana Fever showed that they are taking this very seriously, or that they are ready to make some major moves and major changes, which they've already done. Whether these moves that they're going to do for their roster are going to do any good, that's what we're going to have to see. But they have shown that they are ready to overhaul everything to try to make something happen. Um, First of all, as you might notice, I have power. After 7 days without power, we have it. I'm actually kind of embarrassed with how badly I handled not having power for 7 days. A horrible storm, Hurricane Helene came through. I was where I live. I'm very lucky. No structural damage to the house or the property. Um, and most importantly, no human loss or injury occurred with me. We were just without power for 7 days. I whined and moaned, and I'm quite honestly embarrassed by that. But I just gotta thank God for all my incredible blessings, because there are a lot of people that cannot say the same, especially up in North Carolina, western part there, eastern Tennessee. A lot of people have, entire cities have been wiped out. Lots of human lives lost, and I'm sitting here whining about not having power, which humans didn't have for a long time. Um, when God said, "Let there be light," in Genesis 1:3, He did not say, "Let there be lights," so that one day humans can harness the power of this light, make their own light, and then when they lose the ability to make their own artificial light, will freak out and flip out. So God had to create linemen and utility workers to get the power back on, because these frail humans would not be able to handle it. That was not in Genesis. So my continued prayers to everybody affected by this storm. Um, uh, you, it could be a lot worse. There's a lot of people who would die literally to be in my spot, and so I can't be grateful enough about that. But today, the Indiana Fever announced that they've removed Lin Dunn as their general manager and have put somebody new in place named Amber Cox. They have kept Lin Dunn on as an advisor, which I gotta say is a very good human move on their part. Um, Lin Dunn is basketball royalty. She's women's basketball royalty since the 70s, between as a player and a coach. Throughout many colleges, was there in the early days of the WNBA with the Seattle Storm, and she was the head coach of the Indiana Fever when they won their WNBA championship in 2012. There's just so much to be said about her, and she deserves to be kept in that organization one way or another. I was a little bit surprised by the move, I got to say. I know they hired Kelly Krauskopf. I'm just calling her Kelly K. Hey, we're Indiana Fever fans. We're racist, right? So we'll just keep the K's going. We're not, but I'm just saying that. Um, they announced her, and there's an interview with Lin Dunn where she's talking, very excited about this, and then she started going on about, what they're going to do as an organization. She said, they're going to run, which is a good thing. It was wonderful to hear. Said, they're already talking to free agents, that people want to play with Caitlin Clark because of how she can get them the ball, the attention they can get from her. I mean, if you're a good person with a likable personality, people will see you and fall in love with you. Exhibit A, Aaliyah Boston. Didn't really know much about her for this year. She had a rookie season last year in 2023. She won a championship at South Carolina in 2022. Amazing player, I knew that, but it turns out she is such a wonderful person. Million-watt smile, lights up a room, very sweet personality, very well spoken, and very good on the court. Very much team oriented, and she's always like I'll call her the anchor. She is their anchor. She is the one who really I think keeps them going well. Um, but like I said, Lin Dunn was giving this interview and just going on about their future and what she was looking forward to, and what them as an organization were looking forward to. So most of us just assumed she would stay as the GM. So I don't know if she knew this was coming or she was blindsided or not, but they have removed her. They have kept her as a consultant. Like I said, if you're the Indiana Fever, you can't just kick Lin Dunn to the curb. Um, Chrissy Sides, that's another matter, but we'll get to her in a second. But they've kept her and in her place as president of basketball or GM, and I forgot her other title. They brought in a lady named Amber Cox. Um, I researched her because I wanted to talk about her and her accomplishments in this video, but that would take another extra 20 minutes of these already 20-minute videos. So, all you need to know is reading her bio. All I could think of was the Johnny Cash song, "I've Been Everywhere." She's been everywhere, man, and she's done it all. She's been with multiple WNBA teams where they have really increased their revenue. Said during her time with the Dallas Wings, they had their highest revenue pulling in ever, which I think is going to be an issue, good, because I just think the WNBA, I think the NBA is going to get tired of footing the bill at some point, and I think they're going to need to be in position to pull in better financials, and it seems like she understands how to do that. She's with the Connecticut Sun for a long time, helping make moves there. That's a team that's made so many deep runs. No matter how unlikable they might be, their success cannot be questioned. They made the finals, I think, once or twice, and semifinals so many times. They've come so close. This year might be more of the same. Who knows? But they you have to, and she also helped them in their financials as well. She's also put in a lot of time in organizations in Major League Soccer, as well as lacrosse leagues, and everywhere she's gone, it has been a success. So she's been everywhere, man, and she has made money everywhere, man. At least as much money as you can possibly make in a league like the WNBA, where the overall structure is against her. But with the Indiana Fever, the structure is not against her. And the biggest thing I see from this move, it shows that the Indiana Fever are willing to make moves to try to make stuff happen. And it seems like they're making good moves so far. Like I said, it's tough to see Lin Dunn go, but she just really wasn't doing it as GM. She'd had a couple years, and Caitlin Clark really fell in her lap. Leah Boston fell in her lap. She inherited Kelsey Mitchell and Lexi Hull. She might have drafted Lexi Hull. I can't remember. But anyway, she's just not really done the job, but she is royalty, and they have kept her, so that shows that, they do have some human side to them, but they are going full speed ahead to take advantage of this generational talent that is Caitlin Clark. And I'm sure they got to see the generational talent as well in Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston, and understand that with those three, and also with Lexi Hull, hopefully they can hang on to her. With those three or with those four, they can really they can make something happen. They can have, if they can play together for a long time, I can see them doing a lot of really good things, a lot of championship runs and a lot of championships. So that just shows that they are not going to just sit there and be okay with it, with what's going on, when there's clearly things that can be changed. Obviously this year was a huge step forward for the Fever, considering how everything's been since the end of 2016, when Tamika Catchings retired. Indiana Fever legend Tamika Catchings, and they've just had a really bad 8-year stretch until this year. But there's still a lot that you can see that needed to be done. The roster was not where it needed to be. They struggled with that power forward spot. And Alyssa Smith, she didn't seem to quite have it. Looks like she's done with them, and I know we're not going to be too many tears shed if that happens. They had the kind of like by committee with Damaris Dantes and Tammy Figbenley. I feel like keeping at least one of them is a good thing, especially off the bench. Erica Wheeler, somebody I want to see them keep. I don't know if they will or not, but I have a lot of good feelings about her. I feel like she can really provide that kind of energy and effort and attitude to really help them go forward. She did that the last game against the Sun. I said she was the MVP of that game, and I stand by that. I don't know what the stats were. I don't think they were much, but you need somebody like her out there. Maybe not as a starter, maybe coming off the bench is her thing, but I think, with her spelling Caitlin Clark, so she doesn't play 40 minutes a night, playing the point guard 4 or 5 minutes a night, and maybe even spelling Kelsey Mitchell, taking over as a shooting guard, 4 or 5 minutes a night. Put her on the floor for 10 minutes, make sure there's different times. You always want at least Caitlin or Kelsey on the floor. That's just me, though. I mean, like I said, it looks like they're willing to bring people in. They brought Kelly Krastoff back. She was with the Indiana Fever for a long time. She left for the Indiana Pacers, which is a big, big, big step up. The NBA to the from the WNBA to the NBA. But she's willing to come back, and they were able to persuade her to come back. And I'm sure a lot of it. A lot of it is she sees. They have Caitlin Clark. They have this generational talent and this ability to really do something good. But at the same time, there also has to be some convincing there. She had to see something that would make her want to say, "Yeah, that's where I want to be. I can go there and I can do something special." So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing some of the things she does. This is a big step. Like I said, this is a big step immediately. Bringing in Amber Cox, who, like I said, looks like she knows what she's doing. Looks like she has a lot of experience in a lot of different areas and a lot of different sports with a lot of different dynamics. So I think she will. I think this is a situation she's built for, or at least has been molded into being built for. So I'm excited about that. Like I said, I'm glad they kept Lin Dunn on the team. I'm sure she's probably probably a little bit blindsided by it, just judging by her interview a few days ago, talking like she was going to be the decision maker. But maybe she knew. Maybe she knew. It's hard to say. But that just shows they're willing to make changes. It'll be interesting what they do at head coach. Right now, Christy Sides is still their head coach as of the filming of this video. By the time I'm through filming this video and release it, that might not be the case because I guess I give her credit. She tried. I feel like she really helped the overall morale of the team. She stayed off social media. I think she really helped foster that environment of, keeping everybody together and keep, banding together. And as Erica Wheeler so greatly put it, in my opinion, kept everybody else out of that building that was trying to get in, or out of that locker room that was trying to get in. I think that's what she was really talking about when she said that building. So hopefully they can keep that up with somebody else. But yeah, she just, and that's one of the things I was talking about. This year was a leaps and bounds improvement from where the Fever have been, but there's still so many issues, and a lot of it came from the coaching. Her choice of rotations, sometimes she hit, a lot of times she missed. Some of her substitution packages were just like, I don't understand why these two are on the floor and this person's on the bench. And somebody who doesn't really need to be spelled at the moment, who doesn't need to catch a breather for the moment. And just her absolute unwillingness to call a timeout when you can clearly see the other team just gaining momentum and gaining momentum. They'll play teams, better teams like Minnesota or the Aces or Connecticut, and I mean, they'll call timeouts in the first 3 minutes of the game if they see that it's not starting well, and that's where the tone's set. So hopefully they can find a coach that understands that and is willing to really, really build a system, a true system around Caitlin Clark and her generational abilities as a point guard. Because they have the pieces, or already have some of the pieces around her to do some really great things in the future. Kelsey Mitchell, you can see it. I'm sure Amber Cox right now is all about making sure that they can get Kelsey Mitchell signed to a long-term, not only signed, but signed to a long-term deal. That's one thing Lin Dunn talked about, and I was so glad to see that she said, their number one priority is hanging on to Kelsey Mitchell. And obviously making sure that, Leah Boston is taken care of as well, too, and, made to feel exactly what she is, which is really an irreplaceable part of that team as well. I know Caitlin loves her. Their pick and rolls, they seem to be the first two. She seems to be the first one that Caitlin really gained chemistry with, and she's gained with Kelsey Mitchell as well, gained with Lexi. And then her and Damaris Dantes and Tammy Figbinley. Looking forward to that. But the Indiana Fever, they showed they are going to make some moves, and they're going to do their best to make this Caitlin Clark thing happen, one way or another. And I'm glad to see that. You know, I hate it for Lin Dunn. I mean, I know getting demoted cannot feel good, especially after everything she's done. But hopefully she understands, and hopefully they'll still listen to her when she speaks up. Because I mean, she's been doing this longer than I'm sure anybody else there's been alive. I'm 40. She's been doing it probably a good 10 years before I was born. So I hope they hang on to her and, you know, are willing to listen and don't just say, okay, sit in that office over there and just sit there. You know, and like I said, hopefully they'll find a coach. I mean, I think Christy Side is going to land on her feet if she is removed as coach. I'd be very surprised to see the Indiana Fever make this move with Lin Dunn and not make a coaching move. I mean, they seem to understand that they have at their fingertips with Caitlin Clark a golden opportunity as a franchise, as a basketball team to do some very, very special things over the next 8 to 10 years at least. And looks like they're willing to make those moves. So I have a hard time seeing them hanging on to Christie sides. Hopefully they will make a big splash there as well. Like I said, Amber Cox, they put her in the general manager role, and like I said, she has a resume that goes out the door, or the overall list you can't keep in a room. It's going to go flying. It's going to have to stick out the door. If that makes any sense. She's multiple leagues, multiple sports, men's, women's, multiple roles in each, and success every bit of the way. She was a part of one of Phoenix's championships, possibly more. And like I said, just done some amazing things in Major League Soccer as well. And even, like I said, took a role in a professional lacrosse team. So that's a big deal. I really think the future's bright. That's one thing I wanted to see. Were they going to just say, hey, you know, we did good, let's keep doing what we're doing, or was the Indiana Fever going to realize, okay, we have the chance to do something amazing? Even though last year was a step forward, we still had a chance to do a lot of things that never happened. And I'm very interested now to see how this goes, all the moves they make, free agents moves, coaching changes, organizational changes, and looking forward to see what 2025 is going to look like. Seeing who they draft, any draft moves they try to make to find people, how they're going to fill that power forward spot. It's exciting. This is exciting. It's way more exciting than what's actually going on the court, which I don't even know at this point. I know the ratings took a dip. They're still higher than they had been, so everybody's like, "Oh, hey, they're still, the WNBA is still growing." I'm like, "Well, you just fumbled it though. You fumbled it so bad." And hopefully once this season's over, the WNBA will take a cue from the Fever and start making some sweeping changes, and realize they have a chance to really, really make some noise in the sports world, to make some money, and to really establish themselves as a major sport, as a organization that can be taken seriously. Getting away from the social media activism stuff and getting on with actual fun basketball. It'd be interesting to see if they're going to follow the lead of the Fever organization, but all I know is the Fever organization is going for it. They're not going to sit still. They've already not sitting still, and you would think they would have announced Sides being removed as coach before they'd announced Lin Dunn being fired as general manager, but maybe the coach they're looking for is assistant for one of the teams that's still in the playoffs. Maybe they're waiting for the season to end. Maybe there's already been talks. I don't know what the rules as far as tampering is, but I'm looking forward to this. This is a big deal. This shows Indiana is serious in the future. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching these videos. Like I said, subscribe if you'd like. If not, just watch. That's fine by me. Thank you guys so much, and you guys take care. I'll make some more videos as more changes come. Thank you.